Hey guys, Holly here, and what you're seeing is the Crock Pot slow cooker with iStir. iStir is really pretty cool, and I figured I would show you. We cooked our first meal in it tonight. We had a pot roast. We didn't do like all the vegetables in the pot roast, but we did do our meat. We cooked a pork butt roast because it's just probably one of our favorite meats to use for the roast that we like. And we wanted to see how it was going to do for pulled pork sandwiches too. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll splice this all together. But we bought this. It was about, probably $50. I do not recommend getting the 2-year service plan or any kind of service plan whenever they, say, do you want it? I don't feel that this is expensive enough to have to pay the extra money for it. And 95% of the time, you're not going to need the service plan anyway. So I'm going to take you over to the Crock Pot and I will show you more about it. Hey, it's Holly. Here's the Crock Pot. Right now it has the handle attachment, and as you can see, it's hot and steamy. I just shut it off so that way we're good to go. There's the settings. It's all digital controls. You get your high for 4 to 6 hours, or you get your 8 to 10 hour low setting. And whenever you make your selections, it's pretty self-explanatory. What's done is done. Whenever it's done cooking, it'll switch over to warm, and whenever you hit one more time, it'll kick off to warm. And if you don't hit off, it'll stay on warm. So whenever you're done cooking and you're done serving, make sure you shut it off. And of course, unplug it as always for safety. But I'm going to switch out real quick and I'm going to show you the attachments and how it all goes together. Okay, so here's the attachments for the Crock Pot. Here is our turning motor. It's got the power button, it's got a pulse button. And the little widget on the bottom sticks through the lid. With the lid attached to the motor. Oh, and the pigtail on this, you only need one plug because they provided a plug-in for your Crock Pot to plug into the back of the motor piece. How awesome is that? So that way you're not taking up 2 receptacle slots. You don't have to get extensions and all that fun stuff. They've got it built in all together. You know it's going to be safe because it's already pre-made this way, so it's good and ready for that to happen. And they have 2 different paddles. This one is more for like your soups and things like that are really light in nature. And for your more chunky stuff, they have this. So I'm going to put it together for you in the lid. Lid's sitting over here. And I'll put it together and show you what it looks like in action. Okay, putting this together is super simple. All you do is you take these little squeeze buttons, and to detach the handle setting, and you just really easily snap this on, super simple, to the lid. And there's the little turning apparatus. So I'm just going to flip this over. I'm doing this all one-handed, so if I screw up, I apologize. On the inside, it's really, really simple. You see the little grooves there? It just kind of lines up with this right here. There's those little holes that snaps into really simply. The reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because this is a godsend for us moms. And if Tag Team Moms approve, this makes our lives easier. It'll make anybody's life easier. So here we go. I'm putting on this attachment because, like I said, we had pork roast in here. And I'm just going to pop this lid on. I'm going to close it up nice and tight. That keeps everybody happy on Sesame Street. I'm going to plug it in back here. It's polarized plug, so if you don't get it in the one way, you got to flip it over. And I'm going to plug in the other side. And here we go. Power button on. Cool thing is this will automatically stir for, I think it's 5 minutes every 30 minutes. It'll automatically stir for me. But the best part is I don't have to wait to stir. If I have something I've just added, I can stir it right now. Now you're probably asking, okay, so this thing can stir yada yada. what happens if it gets stuck? Well, the cool thing about this is it automatically will reverse if it bumps up against something and it feels resistance. And it does take a good amount of resistance to cause it to go backwards. So give me just a moment and I'm going to pull this thing apart and we're going to show you what it does if it comes up against resistance. So here it is, turning it back on. If you happen to turn it upside down, it will not work at all. But I'm going to hit the pulse button. Here's what it does. Okay, now I'm bumping it up against the edge, and it's got a pretty good turn. It's got a pretty good stir ratio. It doesn't get all the way to the edges, but it gets really close to the edges, so you're not going to have a big mess to clean up. And I'm going to see if I can't get it to reverse for you. Oh, there it goes. Just a little bit of pressure and it causes it to reverse automatically. Can you see that? I'm going to say it's probably about 3 pounds of pressure and it causes it to reverse. So it will automatically, but if it does it too often, it'll shut off because that's a safety mechanism that keeps it from burning out the motor for the stir apparatus. How cool is that, guys? And like I said, there's the paddle attachment. This right here for like your dinner soups and stews. You know, no big chunks, and otherwise it'll sit there and go back and forth and reverse the whole time. See, it just came across. Oh, it'll stir for 1 minute automatically if you push the button. You have to wait for like 2 hours before it'll kick in and engage by itself. So, you know, that way if you're going to work all day or whatever you've got, you don't have to worry about stirring it. And whenever you add something, like when you get home, you can just hit your little pulse button, or if you're making a gravy, it'll slowly start stirring it while you are adding in your gravy mix, or if you're adding the flour or what have you to thicken it up. So this is Holly with Tag Team Moms, and Linda and I approve of the Crock Pot iStir. We love this little bugger, and this was probably some of the best money we ever spent. So if you got any comments, questions, leave them below this video and we'll be sure to address them. Talk to you later. Bye.